This is BAWLER. Hello, I have prepared an important and interesting video for you. Subscribe and write in the comments what you think about it. The most powerful and surprising moment is at the end, where David Petraeus and Donald Trump may finally corner Putin into ending the war. But to understand how we got there, let's go back. Retired U.S. Army General David Petraeus, a four-star general and former CIA director, believes it's time to escalate Western aid to Ukraine to deliver a decisive blow to Russia. A respected military leader with a 37-year-long career, Petraeus served in key roles in Iraq and Afghanistan before leading the CIA. Though retired, he remains highly active in geopolitical affairs, advocating for Ukraine since the very beginning of Russia's invasion. In July 2022, Petraeus helped form the Strategic Advisory Council for the Defense of Ukraine. Ever since, he has harshly criticized Russia's motives, battlefield tactics, and military shortcomings, ranging from poor training and weak logistics to a culture of corruption and even war crimes. He calls out Russia's wasteful use of brute force, reducing cities to rubble just to gain irrelevant ground, and contrasts it with Ukraine's discipline, strategic brilliance, and resilience. Throughout 2022 and 2023, Petraeus applauded NATO's assistance, like HIMARS systems that forced Russia to relocate key infrastructure, and argued that Ukraine could only win if supported with advanced tools like Patriot missile systems. And now, in 2025, he's doubling down. Petraeus says Ukraine must be given enough military power to freeze Russian gains and start reversing the occupation in regions like Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, and Zaporizhia. Only then, he says, will Putin recognize the invasion as a colossal mistake. Petraeus predicts the war will end in a negotiated settlement, only after Putin realizes that battlefield losses and sanctions have made victory impossible, and that moment he believes is drawing closer. With over 1 million Russian casualties and 500,000 of those wounded too severely to return to battle, Petraeus sees signs of collapse. He even suggests some Russian commanders have psychologically broken, just like Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin, who turned against Putin before dying in a suspicious plane crash. And while Putin now demands impossible concessions, like removing Zelensky and banning Ukraine from NATO, Petraeus views this as proof that Putin still believes he can win. To break that illusion, Petraeus argues Ukraine must be armed to stop Russia cold and push them back battlefield by battlefield. But Petraeus isn't the only voice raising the pressure. President Donald Trump has dramatically shortened his deadline for Russia to accept a peace deal. Initially offering 50 days, Trump, frustrated by civilian bombings, announced in Scotland that Putin now has only about 10 to 12 days. If not, Russia will face sweeping tariffs from the US, potentially collapsing its fragile economy. These tariffs would target all Russian goods and punish countries doing business with Russia. A new bipartisan bill, the Sanctioning Russia Act of 2025, could allow Trump to impose tariffs up to 500% on any country supporting Russia. With military spending cuts already looming, Russia's economic future looks grim. Despite throwing everything it has at Ukraine, including Cold War tanks and soldiers on motorcycles, Russia is losing. The summer offensive has stalled. Missiles and drones aren't shifting the tide. Ukraine, by contrast, is holding its ground and striking back, showing unbreakable spirit. Many experts now agree, Russia winning this war is nearly impossible, but Putin continues to chase a fantasy of becoming a modern-day Peter the Great. So perhaps Trump's economic hammer or Petraeus' call for overwhelming NATO force will finally break through. Either way, the next few weeks could be pivotal. If you want to learn more, check out our latest video on Ukraine's heroic recapture of a village near the Russian border, or explore how F-16s are being transformed into unstoppable machines. And of course, subscribe to stay ahead on all the latest developments.